May I introduce to
Absolutely.
you Isabella, who you know from our documentary, of course, Shakora, who you know, Dr. Sara Goldrick-Robb, and Shakara's baby, who's now about 5 months old, in the far corner.
Amazing documentary.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure most of us have stuffy noses like myself right now, just getting welled up. I think my first question is, you probably met so many students while making this documentary. How did you come to the people that we ended up seeing on screen? We see Izzy, we see Shakora, we saw Eve, we saw Joe. Like, tell us about it.
I think first, there's so many students, but there's so much shame and embarrassment, actually. So then getting people to say, yes, I'll be on camera. You saw Eve, and Eve's mom might be here today, and I hope if she's here, Eve's mom, we need to chat with you. Thank you for coming. We love Eve. And, I think it's hard, right? And to be able to stand up and make that transition from I'm a student here at a food pantry to I'm an activist articulating the actual structural challenges with being food insecure on campus. It's a big leap. So there, yes, a lot of students, and hard to get students who would talk to us on camera.
What was it like for, oh my goodness, I'm so emotional for Shakara and Izzy. What was it like to see yourself on screen? Was this your first time seeing the documentary?
We actually got to see it right before coming here, and I'm glad because it is very emotional to see ourselves up there. I know for me, at least, it was very, very emotional. And there's always so much more behind what an hour and some minutes can do.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm kind of nervous, even though I saw it before. It did take a toll on me, but I've gotten the courage to come out and actually speak more to people. Before this, I was really shy. Like, I did not want to talk. I was always hiding out, but,
Go, mommy. Go, mommy.
But now I feel like I'm motivated more to help out more students that are going through these struggles.
I have to just take a moment and praise, first of all, our fabulous director, Geeta, has a string of awards, and we were so thrilled when she joined us because we knew she'd be exactly the right person to do the magic of this story. But these two young women and everyone in the doc, you guys are so impressive, and I hope you can see how amazing you are. And I'm not sure you can, but I hope that over the next 6 months, you really figure out that you are both incredible young women, and standing up and speaking out is just remarkable, and we appreciate you, and you are so strong. I know it probably doesn't feel that way. It probably feels like, wow, my head is giant on that screen. But you're amazing, and we think you're amazing, and you need to really know that.
And I just want to add for everyone in the audience that Joey couldn't be here because he is in South America on mission. He's doing a mission for a year before he begins his journey into the Air Force. But he sends love and congratulations and was glad to be part of this story.
Also amazing is Dr. Sara Goldrick-Robb down at the far end. I'm about to give you back your mic.
Yeah.
But you might notice in the doc, she never actually stops moving. I mean, every shot we have of her is running across the screen.
Can you tell us how you got involved, Sara, please?
I got an email. Somebody on the team sent us an email and said, we saw your survey statistics and we think we want to tell this story. And I think it was over the course of almost 2 years that they started to film us. And I think I saw quite a bit of you all and Rose. But it was a real journey, and it was also a real journey as I got to know you and got to worry about you. And there are just so many students out there going through this who just, they don't have, they're not there yet in terms of being able to tell their story. And I think you just did this on their behalf. And that, to me, is what is most tremendous. The amount of good that this can do, the sheer number of people affected who nobody knows anything about, you can make them visible.
I would like to open it up to the audience for any questions. Yes.
And I'm happy that we have at least one Senate staff member here today who's done a lot of good work on this. Bryce is right there. There are actually now 6 bills that are pending around campus food insecurity that have been introduced this year. And there are several people running for President of the United States who have sponsored those bills. And I think what I'm really hoping over the next year in particular is that we'll hear a conversation that goes beyond tuition.
Another question from the audience? Yes, and back hand up.
Girl, we are so old. We can't.
Can you repeat yourself, please? I'll repeat you to the audience. So this is a question for the characters. How did you feel talking about what you went through?
In the beginning, I didn't want to talk about anything. I was still going through the struggle of losing my mom, my dad getting sick. I know that wasn't in the show, but during the process, he did get sick, and everything was just running through my mind. So a lot of the times you hear me getting flustered. So it's just that now I'm really happy that I spoke about this. And I'm just really honored that you guys came out to support us in this fight.
For me, I didn't think I was worthy enough to come out and say that this is something I'm struggling with. I was still very much deep-rooted in the stigma of it and thinking that this is college. This is what it's supposed to look like. That's what it was for my mom, and that's what she taught me to prepare for. So I didn't even view it as a problem. I viewed it as reality. And it was the Real College Conference that got me to speak up for the first time. And practicing speaking up throughout this whole documentary helped me also speak up to my university and demand change, demand help, because, or at least seek help, because it all starts with us saying something first.
Another audience question? Oh, no, you're already standing up. Let's go.
Soledad and Geeta, what inspired you to do this project? What was the inspiration, or what basically caused you all to look at this?
So the question is about what inspired you to do this project.
Oh, sure, thank you, and I'll start. I think it really was the data, which is why we hounded Dr. Rabb to take part in this project. We started seeing data around what we thought was a very large number of students who were food insecure, and that wasn't even the real study that you saw unveiled in the doc. So it was, we had originally thought, there's always that handful who are struggling, and then you realize, oh my goodness, it's not a handful, it's actually a massive number. And so we were very interested in exploring where that number was coming from. Dr. Goldrick was a person on the forefront who was doing the work. We were able to reach out / beg / propose to Conagra and the William Grant Foundation, Conagra's foundation, the William Grant Foundation, to see if they would fund a project like this, if they were behind it, and they were. And then all the pieces came together, and I think then we could start exploring this issue that really was just a data point. How many students are hungry on campus?
And for me, I got a call from the producer, Rose Arce.
Rose, will you stand up? Because we keep talking about you.
Yeah.
Phenomenal producer.
And you don't, and then I came in and met the team, and it's very hard to say no to Soledad O'Brien. I am sure you can imagine.
I pin you down and make you say yes.
The amazing Soledad O'Brien, who's going to say no. So, and also, honestly, the issue really spoke to me. I have children myself. My son is in the audience. And, this is our future. I mean, these young people standing here are the future of the country, and we're failing them, or the country is failing them. So it feels really, really urgent. I'd also like to say this was a really scrappy little film, as Soledad mentioned. I love everybody who worked on the film who's here to stand up.
Yes,
Our
please.
amazing editors, Flavia De Souza and Alex Kuiper are here, one of our DPs, Assad, Deanne, one of our producers, Susan Kennedy, our producer, it's Deanne Gaston, who else?
Kristen is
Our
right
Daniel
back there.
Miller, our composer. Who's in the Tristan, who's in the back, yeah, who's one of our additional editors. It was a big and loving team who really put a lot into it. So thank you all.
We have time for one final question. At the very back, yes.
Yeah.
So this is a question for Sara. The data points you're using, is it exclusive to who you were studying for, or is this also nationwide?
You know, the data that we've collected is for college students, and it's only able to be collected if a college lets us collect the data. You know, one of the things I do want to say is a big shout out to the colleges that allowed this to happen on their campuses, that allowed the student stories to be told, because to be really honest with you, the public institutions have been stepping up. The community colleges are letting us in to collect data. Some of the public universities are. Most of the private colleges, and most of those colleges you see on TV, like the University of Phoenix, they probably have these problems, but we can't even collect the data there. So that's the first thing. And I don't know that it applies writ large. What I can tell you, though, is the food insecurity rates of the general population are a lot lower than the rates that we're reporting here. And some people use that to say, well, there must be something wrong with these data. How could college students be food insecure at higher rates than the general population? And the answer is really easy. They face higher prices. They face time poverty because they're juggling school on top of work, on top of family. And they're systematically left out of many of the support programs, as was mentioned earlier. The SNAP program does many things to exclude them. They have less access to affordable housing and other ways to reduce their living costs. So it actually makes a lot of sense that they would be the ones to fall short. And I think that's the decision that we have to reconsider.
That is all the time that we have for today, so I will get you folks to applause our cast and crew.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank
enjoy
you.
Doc
Thank you so
NYC.
much.